we've just had a Ethereal Workshop, but the fun does not stop there, guys. It looks like we've got another big momentous update heading our way, so let's look at what on earth it could be. As all of you guys do know, we've had this teaser where Dave Kerr, the voice behind Mimic, came on and they voiced a new monster. Let's go and take a look at it again real quick there.
They're doing some sort of secret recording. I wasn't invited, but I'm gonna see what I can get.
So here we theorized initially that it was tied to the Ethereal Workshop, but then it wasn't Yurik, it wasn't any of the monsters on the island. And this monster is not in Mimic's voice. So it's not My Singing Monsters Mimic, and it is not related to the new island. So what on earth is it? Well, going back to his initial theories, we did mention that it sounds quite similar to Punkleton. And Spooktacle, according to our promotion here, arrives next week. And when you go ahead and listen to this segment of the monster handlers that's coming up, it seems to start to align here. So let's play it.
Tune in next week for everybody's favorite spooky seasonal event.
I will expose the truth.
Oh, I'm sure you will, Monster and the Titan.
So here it seems like they are hinting that Spooktacle is when this new voiced monster is going to arrive. And therefore, I do think this is absolutely related to Punkleton. This makes so much sense, especially when you're thinking back to the Punkleton sounds that we've got, for example, on Seasonal Shanty.
Booga, 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 ga.
Booga, 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 booga.
It just does not sound the same unless we get Dave Kerr back. And if Dave Kerr was going to come back and reprise any monster out of anyone, it would definitely be Punkleton. Because no offense to Seasonal Shanty Punkleton, but it just did not really turn out the same at all. So therefore, Punkleton is going to be returning here. It would make the most sense for Dave Kerr to come back and reprise a monster too, rather than voicing a new one, right? And if he was going to come back and voice anyone, it's Punkleton. But what on earth is this sound for? Well, Shanty's over, it's been on Plant Island, so where's it going? Well, if we head back to the teaser itself, it was inside of a Dawn of Fire video. So therefore, I do think Punkleton and the baby seasonals are going to be coming to Dawn of Fire, guys, which is really exciting. The seasonals, I feel like the seasonals are the most befitted class to Dawn of Fire. It feels like that is the class you would bring back out of anyone from the main game to me. And it seems like they might have always been planned too. Going back to old promotional images, we've got like this Smoochel top here. That's the most found one. I think there might have been Hula as well. At one point, I can't remember where that design was, but it was definitely somewhere. They had Hula and then they had this Smoochel Dawn of Fire design. And it looks like they always did have the intention for them to come, whether it be the Christmas costumes as well. This just means, guys, that we are finally getting something new for Dawn of Fire as well. It is a Dawn of Fire rejuvenation, guys. I am so excited behind this Mimic and now this is awesome. But the question now that we have is, now we know that Punkleton is coming to Dawn of Fire, where is Punkleton going to go in Dawn of Fire? So we know it's coming to the continent, of course, but it's got to go to an outer island. That's Dawn of Fire's whole mechanic. So out of the 4 outer islands that we've got, I feel like Punkleton would be best fit on Cave Island. It's got that raspy atmosphere, that hecticness that Punkleton thrives in on the island, hasn't it? And also, if we're going back to Bone Island, that always feels like a secondary home to Punkleton for me. And of course, we do know Bone Island is where Cave Island is. It all slots into place, and I do think this is where it's going to be going, therefore. So this actually means that Cave Island is going to be getting, yet again, another update, guys. We're just getting Cave Island updates everywhere for some reason. And I'm loving it. It's Melly's favourite Dawn of Fire island, but we love the Cave Island representation. Honestly, we loved any Dawn of Fire representation, to be honest. Now, the Punkleton design, I think we, of course, are going to be getting that Dawn of Fire adult textured Punkleton, of course, but we're also going to be getting this new baby design, and that's where most fun's going to be coming with this new artwork, I think, isn't it? So, with the baby Punkleton, I was thinking, seeing as though when Punkleton arrives, it comes up from the ground. It would be so cute if baby Punkleton was inside of the ground itself. I was thinking it could have baby bone hands poking up from the ground that it slaps as it makes Huga noise, and the little Smumpkin could actually rotate on the ground. How cool would that be? I feel like getting to see the sprite artwork for that would be really interesting as well, and how they could make that work. Baby designs too, they always feel like they are trying to step back almost, don't they? Because you're going back in time here, and I feel like that would be a really cool way to go about it. But for this baby design, I also want to throw Ral's artwork here. So Riles has made a baby Punkleton design, and rather than it being on the ground in this time, I feel like this is cool representation here because you're getting a flesh of both ideas. Riles has made this just your typical Dawn of Fire design here. Big eyes, big head, basically big everything, and just plotted on the floor. This is your typical Waddle, Kano, Mammoth. This is the go-to Dawn of Fire style. So I could see this happening, but I think it would be really cool if they do twist it up a little bit with this one and make it a little bit more different. Now, speaking about the sound itself, you got the Gaga. I think that absolutely resonates with it being a baby sound as well as rather than Hooga, you've got Gaga, baby. You know, it fits together so perfectly, missing out on some words as well. Gaga, baby, noise that babies make. And going back to that sound as well, it did sound to me as though the Gaga seemed like it really fit in the pom-pom and Cybot verse where they're going, hey everybody, hey, let's go. Ga, ga. You know what I mean? It just feels like that would fit. I don't know how else to describe it other than doing it in front of you guys, I guess. So there you go. A bit of a showcase there inside of a theory video. That's not happened before. Quite interesting. This is the community's favorite verse, so that getting an addition, I think, would be an awesome thing to see. I think absolutely the end of the continent is where most people are going to be laying their eyes on, but I think the Quints are coming, and I do think they could fill out that just as much as what this one could. We've got quite a few vocal monsters going on at the end too now. I think the instrumentalist with us Quints will probably be filling that out a lot with Knolls probably. And going back to my Mirror Continent as well, that was also in this exact same verse that TME composed on my channel. So if we go and listen to that now, you'll be able to see what I mean by that. So it fits quite perfectly inside of that verse, doesn't it, guys? And for Cave Island, we've mentioned the continent now. I think it's going to be quite similar to Plant Island on this island, where it plays at the beginning of the song and kind of revs up the rest of the song, what it's going to be like. Regardless of wherever it is playing, though, it is not going to be playing with Flower, so we can put that out of the book for Cave Island, can't we? And I do think it's going to be making its full Hooga on Cave Island, potentially, but might conflict a bit with Flower, so it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Now, besides as baby seasonals, though, as Hot Topic, let's be real, we also do have the rare Wublin that is going to be coming along for October. So this time it's going to be representing the Earth element for October, Taut's month, of course, as we're following the celestial months with the rare Wublins, and they are themed around each one. Now, there's 9 rare Wublins left that are each shown on screen right now, but which one of these is it going to be to represent the Earth element this time around? Well, the monster handlers always, they choose the coolest one that they think they can pull off for this element. So it's quite hard to theorize, but we're going in there and we're digging deep to try and do it. And talking about digging deep, I think absolutely Mulch, the little digger mother, and Fleetworm are as ones that do fit the Earth element the most. And personally, out of these two, I feel like they are going to go with Mulch. Mulch, it has a very poisonous feel, and I'd love to see it be took up to the next level, that earthness behind it as well, just like to Rare Blip Squeak with the mech elements with that one. Mulch, I absolutely, when I think of this one, I just think back to Dipsters, man. Those pesky little critters. Pesky little critters, man. I'm not doing these guys justice. Sorry, Dipster lovers. I always do have to remember there are Dipster lovers, as well as Dipster haters. But anyway, Rare Mulch, I do think is going to go into this Dipster feel. It's going to resemble a Dipster, and he's going to be the leader of the Dipsters in my book. He's going to be the Dipster Mashio, okay? Dipster caped Mashio. Stuff Batman side. It's all about Mashio. But I think he's going to have Dipster eyes, therefore, and we're going to see this guy's body besides its dirt. I don't know what kind of thing I'm conspiring up right now, but it's definitely an ugly thing. I think we're going to see its entire body, and we're going to see its hands with more extended claws, with potentially the flower being replaced with a Dipster topper on top of its head as well, or maybe even several toppers across its design. That would be pretty cool to see. Let's go away from the Dipster goodness for a second, though, to take a look at Ral's design for Rare Mulch. We do certainly love Ral's. Now, Ral's has come up with, rather than Dipster, a mushroom-based design with sigils on here representing several things that I think would be really cool inside the lore to delve into. This one, it looks a lot more poisonous, might be to do with Scar as Taurus month. This one, August more so, but we've got huge teeth here, purpley eyes, looking a lot more highlighted and quite energetic and vibrant, this design, over the other ones, and I am loving the eyes on the mushroom as well. Just going into that even more, it's just Dipster craziness. along with us rare Wublin, something we have absolute confirmation is coming with Spooktacle next week as well, is a rare or fire epic monster. So on Amber Island, if you're heading over there now, you can see the vessels, they're expiring. So the next Amber Island wave is going to be coming along. And as with every single Amber Island wave, we're going to be getting a new rare or epic fire. But which one is it going to be? Well, over with it being Spooktacle, I think this is going to be very Spooktacle oriented with fire or rare epic. And considering how many of the Amber Island rares are very dark themed, I think that would fit awesomely with the Amber Island rares. There's only the Quint rares left though for the rare fires now, and Rare Candelabra would be next following his order of release. However, I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball in there, as I think the Quints, they're quite special, and I would like to see it get its own separate release. Because if you guys watched my theory videos before, you know I think that the Quints, they weren't exactly handled the best in terms of them being these elusive monsters. So I really would like to see them get their own attention and spotlight. So therefore, I think this could actually turn out to be an epic fire this time around. And if it is an epic fire, because it has been a long time since the epic fire, so I think that does make it more likely. And I absolutely do think it's going to be a Fire Haven epic too. Because if we're going back to Wuboxes, right, we need the epic fires, okay? For Fire Haven epic Wubok. So it's going to be a Fire Haven one if it is an epic fire. That is out of the question now. The monster handlers will want that to happen. But out of these, therefore, the bar on screen now, I feel like Flower is the one that could nail this Spooktacle vibe. So Huga Punkleton wins the day. You see, it all fits together, guys. Huga from Flower and Huga from Punkleton. There you go. It's absolutely confirmed now. But no, I think that the Epic Flower is going to lean really heavily into the spooky themes of Spooktacle, of course, and we're going to see perhaps here just bones on Flower. If you're going to nail the Spooktacle design out of anyone, you're going to have the Epic Fire first up, and you've got to make sure, I think it has as much of a drastic change really as Epic Zigurab. I would really like to see that with this one, and therefore I'm thinking just bones, right? Epic Flower, it's a plant monster. Let's make it just bones. Quite similar to Punkleton. Let's have it like that, whereby its head, it's still got that plant with it, but the rest of its body is just bones. That would be so cool to see how its hands animate underneath and getting to see a monster change so drastically just like that. And with Flower, you got to question now though, if it's just going to have this flowered head, then what is its head going to be? Well, I think it could be a poisonous flower. And when I was looking at poisonous flowers, I thought that a purple flower would make the best, and therefore I was thinking maybe the Clumbine flower, which I found would work really cool on this one, as that does resemble sort of the structure that you see with flowers' petals. And absolutely, if we do get Epic Flower ever, then it's got to have its eye just being shut, okay? One side of his face just being shut. We've seen this scar across all of its designs now. I just want to see it shut now. The eye has gone, whatever happened has gone long since now. It's over right now for this monster. A bit tragic there, but oh well, it's an MPG theory video. Punkleton is going to be coming on October 18th, which is my birthday, which I am so excited for. And we are also going to be getting on my birthday the Rare Fire as well. So that's going to be really exciting. Of course, though, we've got his Rare Wublin to put on this schedule as well. The Rare Wublin, I think it could go either way. I feel like it could come or it could be saved for the week after. However, we got Beat Year After coming up, so I'm going to put it on October 18th as well. So everything here is going to be coming on Wednesday, guys. This is so momentous, guys. Dawn of Fire is getting stuff. It's getting baby seasonals. If this is true, then what world are we living in right now? Can this just last forever now? Because Dawn of Fire, it is great. And I'm loving this so much. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do make sure to leave a like, because it helps more than you guys could ever know. And also make sure to go and check out this up here. I'll see you guys later, though, for now. Hooga-doo! Bye, guys.